Hello and welcome to Chrome Computing. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Acer 713 Chromebook. Just about get it in view there. So we'll be having a look at the Acer 713 Chromebook in the video coming up. So this is the Acer 713 Chromebook. If you've not heard of it, it's the Chromebook that replaced the Acer 13 Chromebook. It's a great Chromebook. Acer's a great brand. They've been making Chromebooks for a long time now. I got this in the Easter sale, so I saved some money on getting this. This cost me, I can't exactly remember the price now, but it was a good, decent deal for it. It's one of the best Chromebooks you can get. In the best Chromebooks in 2020, I put this in second position because I thought the Pixelbook Go did offer a better build, because the Pixelbook Go is a fantastically built Chromebook. However, when it comes to specs, this definitely beats the Pixelbook Go. Even if we just look at the case that this has got an Intel 10th generation processor, so that means it's got an end of life of 8 years. So yes, you've still got 8 years to have this in your without needing updates. So I believe that is 2028 if I'm correct. It's a great Chromebook. It's really well built. I love the actual color of it there, the gray, quite nice dark gray. It's all aluminium on top and it's all aluminium on the bottom. It does have fans on it here, but the one thing I would say is, although it has fans, you hardly ever hear them. The only time I've ever heard the fans is when I turn it on for like a second max. There's a little burst of the fan, but that's it. After that, you don't hear the fan at all. Maybe if I was really testing it, you would, but I've hardly heard it, and it's not hot either. I've used this on my lap and it's perfectly fine. It is really well built. It has got military standards, the MIL STD, so I can't remember what number it is, but basically what that means is it can withstand, if you drop this from a few feet off the floor, apparently it isn't supposed to damage it. I'm not going to test it obviously, but it's the same with the actual body as well. If you whack this against the wall, apparently it shouldn't give you any markings. So that's really good to know. This is also a hybrid Chromebook, so what that means, you can use it either as a laptop or you can open it up. Quite easy to open up if I'm being honest with you. And you can put it in temp mode like that, so you can have it on your table like that in temp mode, or you can also use it in tablet mode. When you've got it in tablet mode, there are some rubber feet either side here. There's 4 on here to stop it slipping on a surface, and that works absolutely fine. It doesn't slip at all. What I do like about this laptop, and this is because it's got a 3.2 aspect ratio. So what I mean by that, instead of being widescreen, it's got a 3.2. So when you go onto lots of websites, you'll see, because most websites are designed this way, you'll see that you've got a lot of white space this side, and you'll see you've got a lot of white space that side. So it's just not used. You're not using the space. Whereas a 3.2, it's taller. So you're not having them white spaces, you're getting more information on the actual display. So that's really good. And why I like that with this design is, obviously if the display is taller, then you're going to have more space here. So you've got the keyboard and you've got extra space here. Now, the reason why I like that is, if you're typing at a table, it's absolutely fine, but it's also fantastic typing on your lap. So you can type on your lap, and because you've got all this space here, your palms have still got a nice space to sit. So I really like that. I've typed an article on this on my sofa without any problems at all. The keyboard's really good. It's got backlit keyboard, as you would expect, but yeah, the keyboard is good. The only thing I would say about the keyboard, and it's not no major criticism, say for example when I've loaded it up in the morning and I need to type in my password, because you can't see your password because it comes up with asterisks to stop other people being able to see what your password is. There's no click. So although it's registering my keystrokes, sometimes I'm thinking, has it registered it? So you don't get that feedback. Now, when it's open and you're typing, it depends on how you type, but I touch type, so I don't need to look at the keys. I then look at the display, so it's fine. I can see that it's registering everything I do. So that's the only tiny criticism on the keyboard, is that it doesn't have, it would be nice if it had a bit of a clicky feedback to it. However, saying that, the keyboard in general is perfectly fine. Absolutely nothing wrong with the keyboard. You could definitely type on this all day without a problem. Now, when it comes to the display, the display is excellent. It's got higher than normal full HD resolution, which is really good to see. And unlike, I did write a blog post about this. I've got a Pixel Slate and it's fantastic. It is really a good Chromebook, or Pixel detachable Chromebook, whatever you want to call it. It's really good, but the resolution on that is 3000 by 2000, which is great, don't get me wrong, it is really good. Let me just move this up a bit. I'm sorry this video isn't the most professional, but I do struggle with how I do these reviews and get it all in shot. But there we go. So the display is great. Now on the as I said, on the Pixel Slate, because it's 3000 by 2000, if you've got it at the highest resolution, it can be a struggle to read the text on screen because it's so crisp and so small. And I can only manage it on my Pixel Slate for about 10 minutes before I need to increase the resolution. So that made me think, do we really need Chromebook laptops with a high resolution? And I don't think we do. Personally speaking, I think a full HD resolution is perfectly fine. However, with this, with the extra resolution, it works really well. It does work really well. It's fantastic. And it works with that 3.2 aspect ratio. Very good display indeed. It's excellent. Really bright as well. So the resolution you get on this is 2256 by 1504. So that's obviously more than 1920 by 1080, what you get on full HD. And as says, it works fine. Even at the highest resolution you can still use it to browse the web, and the text isn't too small like you get on the Pixel Slate. Although I'm not, you know, the Pixel Slate is fantastic, but I'm just talking about how much resolution you do actually need. But the resolution for this is perfectly fine. The trackpad is really big as well. It's great. I do love the fact I can use this, although I've already mentioned it. But the reason why, if you need a laptop to type on, this is great, because you can type on this anywhere, on a train, on a plane, anywhere. Because you've got this here, it does make it really good. So this is one of them laptops where, although I do most of my articles for my blog on my Chromebook so I can sit at my desk, this is one of those laptops I can do it on here as well, because there's no reasons why I can't. There's nothing that frustrates me with it at all. Now, I've gone for the Intel Core i3 version. It's really fast, super fast. I don't think you actually need more than the Intel i3, if I'm being completely honest with you. Of course, you can get higher specs if you want to, but when you need to bear in mind, and this is one of the reasons why I decided to buy this, the Intel i7 8th generation is a really fast, obviously, processor. The i7 is one of the best Intel processors you can get, but the 8th generation, this Intel i3 10th generation is actually faster than the Intel i7 8th generation. So I was thinking, well, if I'm quite happy with an Intel i7 8th generation, why would I need more, you know? And you've got to weigh that up, because the great thing about Chromebooks is that Chrome OS is really lightweight operating system. You don't need lots of specs. However, you do need to think of the future and what you'll be using your Chromebook for. If you're looking to use your Chromebook just to surf the internet, social media, do online shopping, booking holidays. Yes, let's hope we can book holidays once all this coronavirus is out the way. If you're looking for that, then this is absolutely fine for that. If you're looking for Android apps, this processor will deal with any Android app without any issues whatsoever. It's the same with Linux apps. You can install Linux apps on this and it's going to deal with them no problem whatsoever. But if you're thinking of the future and where we may be in the future, for example of that is Steam. At the moment, luckily, fantastically, we can now play games on Chromebooks with using either Stadia or NVIDIA GeForce Now, which I use quite a lot to play PC games. So we've got really what we need to play PC games. However, they are all streaming services, so you've got to have a really good internet connection. So I think Google and Steam are still working on an app, I think a Linux-based app, so you can use Steam on your Chromebook. Now, when they do that, you will obviously want to take advantage of the hardware in your Chromebook. So you've got to bear in mind them sorts of things when you're thinking about what processor you need. So Intel i3, I think, is perfectly acceptable. If you want to pay more for the higher processors, go for it. But this is the entry-level model. It's fantastic. I think it can do everything you need to do. Well, it can do everything you need to do on a Chromebook. You're not going to have any limitations. Even when, if Steam does manage to get it to work, so you can play games using the app via Linux, and you can use all your processing power, this would still be fine. We need to bear in mind, none of them have got integrated graphics cards, so that's something which I know is being looked at. We'll have to see what happens with that. The display is perfectly fine when it, as far as you're using it in touch. It deals with everything you need to touch. I've not had any issues where it's not registering what I'm doing, so that's perfectly fine. I do like it. The only thing I would say as well with this, but this is me going back to my Acer C302, which I used to love, is one thing I loved about the Acer C302 is one, it was slab-like look. So what I mean by that, there was no curves, and here there is curves. You can see there's curves on the bottom. So because, and this is what any Chromebook's going to be the same, they've got slight curves in tablet mode. I personally think they look a bit strange because, as you can see there, it's that, and I just think that's quite strange. So I personally like Chromebooks with a slab-like look. That's why I was saying in a previous video that although the Acer C434 is better than the Acer C433, I prefer the C433 because it doesn't have this. It's got more of a slab, so it looks great in tablet mode. Another thing is as well with the Acer C302, there's a magnet. So when it closed into tablet mode, it clicked into place, which I really liked. This doesn't have that. As you can see, it's just opened up like that. However, saying that, I might upset people with this, I've never been a massive fan of hybrid Chromebooks, and by that, don't get me wrong, I love the hybrid functionality, but I never really use them in tablet mode. I just think they're a bit weird using these in tablet mode with that keyboard behind, touching that. I've never thought they were great. However, I love them in temp mode, so using it in temp mode is fine. Or if I've got it on the arm of my sofa, I can put it on the arm like that and go away like that, so that's fine. I'm doing loads of different things whilst I'm doing this on my screen. Let me just log in. Okay, so it is really good for temp mode, but as I says, yeah, I'm not a major fan of hybrids when it comes to using them in tablet mode, and that's why I think, although this video isn't about that, that's why I think detachable Chromebooks will start to take off, because they truly can be used as tablets, or they truly can be used as a Chromebook. I do apologise, I'm just logging in. Okay, so that's the screen on Google. I'll see what the display, what the picture is in the background. Picture in the background, I've just used the Chrome computing logo. And as you will see, it's cut off on the sides. Now the reason for that is when I did that image, I did it for a 1080p display, and this is something you will realise because this isn't 1080p. So you've got more space up here, more space there, but it's cut off the side. Now in relation to that, that's fine. I can just do another image to fit the resolution, that's all okay. But the reason I mention that is when you do watch HD movies, you will get a slight black line at the top and a slight black line at the bottom, so you get the full 1080p, and that's something you're going to get with a 4:3 display. It's not an issue, it's not a massive line, it's just like what you get in the cinema. It's no big issue at all. As far as the hinge is concerned, I did read a few, not reviews from websites, but comments on websites where people said, oh, I've had issues with the hinge. I think the hinge is fine. I've not had any problems with the hinge at all. It seems perfectly fine for me. Yeah, no real issues at all with that. So it's really nice. I do like it. One thing I would say is if we're looking at the negatives, is that apart from the one I just said about not being able to be using a tablet as much, the only real other negative I've got is the audio. Now the audio isn't amazing. I read reviews where they said the audio's terrible. I don't know if I'd go as far as saying it's terrible. It's not terrible, but if you compare it to the Pixel Slate, then yes, it's terrible. But it's okay. But then this is why I don't think all laptops are ever going to have great sound. And this is why you need something like just a Bluetooth speaker if you want to, and it fixes that. So I really wouldn't worry too much about anything like that. So if you're looking for a Chromebook that has got great specs, this is really good. This is the Intel i3 10th generation processor. It's a dual core, 2.1 gigahertz base speed and a turbo speed of 4.1 gigahertz. And it's got a 6 megabyte cache, which means that any regular processes that your computer needs to perform, if it can put it in the cache, it makes them processes quicker. So the higher your cache, the faster your computer will perform regular processes. It's got 8 gigabyte of RAM, so that's plenty of RAM for a Chromebook. Even a Chromebook, again, I know some people may not agree with me on this, but even with a Chromebook with 4 gigabyte of RAM, as far as I'm concerned, is perfectly fine at the moment. Maybe in the future for using Linux apps it may be a problem, but at the moment it's fine. But this has got 8 gigabytes, so that's absolutely fine, and it's got 128 gigabyte of storage. 128 gigabyte of storage means you can install huge amount of Android apps on this, but it also means if you want to give a really big part of your partition to Linux apps, you can do that as well. So you'll comfortably never run out of storage. You shouldn't really run out of storage on this, not with 128 gigabyte of storage. The display is 13.5 inches and it's obviously an IPS panel, so you get great viewing angles as well. And that's what it's a very compact Chromebook. It doesn't look like it is, but it is a really compact Chromebook. It really is. It's compact for what you're getting, and because it's a 13.5-inch display but you're getting that high resolution, it's great. So it's got Wi-Fi 6, so that's really good. If you've got a Wi-Fi 6 router, that means you'll be able to have more, if in your home, if you've got lots of people using Wi-Fi devices, you shouldn't have as much of an issue if you're using Wi-Fi 6, so that's really good to see. In relation to connectivity, it's got 2 USB-C ports, which is really good if you want to use newer peripherals which only use USB Type-C, and it also means you can use them to add an external display as well. But it's also got a USB-A port, which is really good because that means you can also use your older peripherals, and I do prefer a laptop where it's got both. On my Acer C302, it only had USB-C. Now don't get me wrong, that was great because could mean it was a nice slim laptop. But and because of that, I had to get an adapter, and I don't have it here right now yet. One of these adapters, you can see that too. There's one in there. So you can get an adapter to change a USB-C into a USB-A, into a USB-C. But if your Chromebook comes with both, then you haven't got to mess about with that. So that's really good. Another interesting thing with this as well, this actually comes with a HDMI. Now you don't normally see HDMI on Chromebooks anymore, and that's because we've all moved to USB Type-C. However, it is really good because it shows that this Chromebook is really not just for people at home. This is great for people at work. Because in most offices, for example, it's very unlikely you'd have USB Type-C to connect it to a projector, but you would have HDMI. So it's really good to see that it's got HDMI there as well. It's got the power button, it's blue when it's charged, and it's got the volume up and down rocker there. It does have a micro SD slot as well, so you can add extra storage if you want to, and it's got a headphone microphone jack as well. In relation to battery life, it is really good. It says on the actual manufacturer website it's around 10 hours, I believe it says, yeah, up to 10 hours. Yeah, I guess that's about right. I think it depends on what you're doing. Maybe 8 hours, I would say, possibly, but you can definitely use this all day. You could take this out with you all day fully charged and not really have to worry about it running out of power, so that's really good. So this is definitely one of the best Chromebooks I would say you can own right now. Like I said, I didn't rate this as the best in 2020 because I think the Pixel Go, as far as portability, and it's just a fantastic build. I don't think you can beat that, but when it comes to specs, this definitely beats the Pixel Go. I'd say this is one of the best Chromebooks out there. One thing I would say, compared to the Acer 13, which was the model before this, that come with a stylus, and it had a nice little dock where you could put the pen, which I think is really important, because with my Pixel Slate, I've got the pen, but because there's no dock for it, it's just my slate's in one room and my pen's in the other room, and it's really frustrating. So this doesn't come with that. It has the support, but it doesn't come with a pen. It doesn't come with a nice docking station. So that's one thing which could let it down if that's what you want to do. And it's quite nice sometimes messing around with the stylus. Certainly if you're into that, then that's important to you, then yeah, it's definitely something that is a bit of a letdown compared to the Acer 13. That being said though, this is definitely a fantastic Chromebook. It's a workhorse, this Chromebook. It's great. You'll never buy this Chromebook and be in a position in a couple of years' time where you've got performance issues, even if things change in the future, because it's such a powerful Chromebook. Like I said, the Intel i3 is more powerful than the Intel 8th generation Intel i7. So yeah, great Chromebook, great build quality. I really like it. I love the fact it can take a few knocks and bangs as well. I was really concerned about the fans, but there's nothing to be concerned about. Like I said, it's a tiny little sound when you turn it on, and that's it. That's all I've ever heard. So it's absolutely fine. Yeah, so I hope this review has helped. If it did, please like the video. So it's the only way other people will be able to see the videos, and it supports me as well with my YouTube channel. And talking about supporting me, please subscribe to the channel as well, because I do like to make more videos. So it's a good way to see that people are supporting my channel. Okay, so thanks for watching. I hope it helped. See you later.